Welcome to the top 5 TFT team comps for 9.15. I have compiled a little list here, no specific order of the comps I've done personally, personally tried out, that is. And I know these comps are pretty good from trying them, and I wanted to share that knowledge with you guys. If you want to check out where I got some of these little graphics I'm about to have on screen, you can do that at the link down below, is down in the description. Really good site. It's the Overwolf app I've been using for TFT, and yeah, so let's get right into it. So moving right into our first comp, the one I've played the most of is Ranger Knights. Now I really like this comp. It's got a little bit of everything. You've got your Glacial, your Phantom, Guardian, a little bit of Knight, and Noble in there. So really good. It's just a little bit difficult to get all those recurve bows you need. But if you do end up getting that spear, that rapid fire cannon onto that Ashe, getting her to level 2, maybe even level 3, she will pop off, just stunning everybody. It's kind of crazy. That being said, this version on screen is a little bit too unrealistic. The Kale is a little bit hard to reach, so I am going to bring up my own personally preferred comp, and that is going to be this one here. It's going to just have Sedge instead of Kale. Now, the reason for that is obviously Sejuani, huge CC tank. She's a knight as well, so you're going to keep that knight bonus by taking her out. You're going to lose the noble, but personally, I believe having 3 glacials is better than having the noble buff, and the reason being is you can easily turn one of your rangers into a glacial as well, bumping that glacial buff from 20% to 30% chance to stun, which is super important. And again, just having that CC and the front line that comes with Sejuani and the knight buff just is my preferred way to play this. Kale just does not have enough health, the noble bonus not being enough for me personally. But if you do find that maybe Kale is working out a little bit better for you, maybe you can switch Sejuani and her out, let me know in the comments. I prefer the Sejuani with a more glacial and CC, but if you prefer noble, then that would be the one for you. So moving into our second comp is one for the little more advanced TFT players, one for the little more of luckier TFT players as well. It's full sorcerers, and it's going to need obviously all 6 sorcerers. Now there is 7 with Kassadin, but this comp decides to not run it. I personally would run Kassadin over Ahri. I really don't like Ahri. She misses her ability a lot, and Kassadin kind of provides another type of frontline you have, and in this comp you really don't have that much of a frontline, so I would personally take Kassadin over Ahri, as he is a sorcerer obviously. But, you know, up to you again. To each their own. This one says Ahri. I prefer Kassadin. It's very difficult to pull this off because 3 sorcerers by themselves, not very strong. You know, 2 knights, 3 sorcerers, again, not that great. But once you get into that late game with Karthus and Soul, having them have a few items, archangels, spears, and of the like, stuff of the like, you can really just pop off. This comp really doesn't lose once you get there. I've gotten it a few times. Again, very hard to get, but when you do, it's unstoppable. You wipe teams like they're nothing. Like they've got level 1s out there. You're destroying people. It's kind of crazy, but it's super hard to get to. You have to have a really good early game comp, something that's completely different than sorcerers, you know, maybe 4 knights or something out there, and you're just slowly building up these sorcerers on the sidelines. Again, very difficult to pull off, but if you find yourself with maybe 3-4 early sorcerers and a good team comp early on, look to transition to it. It's really great, especially because people don't really contest tiers all that often, so you'll be able to get your items pretty easily. It's just about getting those units in, getting them to level 2, and then getting those late game mages like Soul and Karthus. So try that one if you can, but don't force it. It's definitely hard to do. Moving right into our third comp here is Imperial Blademasters. Now this one, It's obviously going to be stacking on a Draven, classic kind of comp, making him the carry, getting him that rapid fire cannon, that Phantom Dancer, maybe like a Bloodthirster, Infinity Edge, whatever your third item can be, but definitely getting that Phantom Dancer rapid fire cannon. So his autos never miss and he never gets crit. But going from there, having all 4 Imperials. Now, I have never done that before, and I tested it out a couple of times. It was crazy. Watching champs with literally no items, besides obviously the Draven, pop off, just do so much damage because of that Imperial bonus was kind of cool. Like, you're doing a lot of damage really quick. There's not a lot of buffs with this. There's only the Imperial buff. That's the real main one. And then you've got Blademaster there with your Yasuo, your Draven, and your Shen. And then, obviously, the Ninja buff with Shen as well, plus the Guardian buff and the Exile buff with Yasuo. But, doesn't seem like a lot, but Draven will end up doing around like 10k damage late game fights. It's crazy. He does so much, and it's really, really good. That being said, we've got Swain and Yasuo, 2 level 5 units that you're going to have to pick up. That can be pretty difficult to do. If you can find them, great, awesome. But I do have a little bit of an alternative solution. So if you can't find that Yasuo, you have something else to pick up. So this is just another 1 champion change here. It's going to be Aatrox, and for obvious reasons, he's a Blademaster, but he's not that 5-cost Blademaster. They did nerf him, and they did nerf Demon, so you will get that Demon bonus instead of running Yasuo for the Exile bonus, which, you know, is a good filler for the time being when you don't have Yasuo. Unfortunately, you need Swain. Obviously, he's another Imperial. You gotta have him to complete the old set there, but running to Aatrox in place of Yasuo for the time being until you find one is a good go-to. He will give you that demon bonus, so burn a little mana. I know they nerfed it, but you know, you gotta have a filler. Your only other options are Fiora or Gangplank in that situation. You really don't want to pick those guys up compared to Aatrox. So running Aatrox with the Swain will give you demon, and that can be a good alternative if you cannot find that Yasuo. Maybe 2 or 3 other people have picked up Yasuo and you can't seem to find one. Aatrox is your go-to. So that's Imperial Blademasters right there. Really like this comp. A little bit difficult, a little expensive to pick up, but definitely still really good. Moving on to our 4th comp, we have Void Brawlers. Now, this is just a little bit of a twist on Volley Brawlers. Obviously, Volley Brawlers was have Volibear carry out of your 4 Brawlers. This is basically the same thing. And just as a heads up, this is going to only get stronger with Vi coming in. Soon Brawlers will have 6 Brawlers, and you can have 1200 bonus health. So this is definitely a comp to watch out for. But if you don't know about it, it is just stacking Rapid Fire and some other recurve bow items onto your Volibear, or some on-hit items onto your Volibear, and watching him just slap some lightning across an enemy team. With the Braum, he's got that Glacial, and his lightning auto attacks do apply on hits, so things like Hush, Curse Blade, Disarm, Titanic Hydra, Red Buff, all applied with that lightning, so he is a really great carry. Personally, though, I do think running Kassadin over Kha'Zix in this variation would be a little bit better. Having another tank there just to protect your Volibear is always good, plus the mana burn from Kassadin could stop a Sejuani from ulting, maybe a Cho'Gath from ulting, something like that. So I would suggest picking up Kassadin over Kha'Zix for this comp, but it's really good, really simple, and the best part about it is you only need 7 units. Now, all the other comps we looked at needed 8. This one needs 7, so I prefer those kind of comps, you know, a little light on the units, more focused on re-rolling and getting like 3-star units, having a real direct carry. That being said, if you seem to not be able to find any Volibears, Cho'Gath can make a nice carry as well. That is why it's called Void Brawlers now, because with that triple Void bonus, Cho'Gath will be doing true damage on that Rupture. So if you do get a Death Cap on him, maybe a Morello's on him, and it gets that Rupture off, it's going to do a crazy amount of damage, and it's going to be true damage. So Cho'Gath as your backup carry there, but Volibear as your main. So that is Void Brawlers. Lastly, we've got our personal favorite here, and it is Jungle Void. So the reason it's called that is because you're going to be running Void, Brawler, Assassin, Ninja, and 2 Wild. So the 2 Wild being Warwick and Rengar. Rengar is going to be the primary carry here. Getting a rapid fire cannon on him and a static shiv, pretty needed. And the best part about this is no one really goes Rengar right now. I really haven't seen anybody stacking a Rengar, trying to get level 3 Rengar, or even really level 2 Rengar. It's usually always focusing your gold into better assassins like Zed or something, or Pike, especially the items as well. But I played this a couple times, and this Rengar just pops off. It's crazy. He attacks so quickly. That static shiv is always getting procced. He's got rapid fire cannons, so even if he jumps to one unit and then gets stuck, he can reach over and start attacking another unit very quickly. Level 2 Rengar gets a 70% attack speed boost, so the static shiv after he jumps is just, it goes off like 4 times. It's crazy. And again, this one only takes 7 units. That's really the primary reason I think it's the best right now, is because unlike the other comps we just looked at, this only takes 7 units, plus it's got burst potential. Now, Volibear and the Volley Brawlers, or the Void Brawlers we just talked about, it's a good comp, but it doesn't provide the burst that 3 Assassins plus a 3-star Rengar that you will easily be able to get provides. He'll just jump in there and start critting for like 1,000, kill off about 3 carries. He'll end up dying, but you know what? He's killed off 3 carries, and at that point, you know, your Akali comes in, mops it up. Kha'Zix comes in, mops it up, you know. He really is a great carry. You're very easily able to find him because no one else is picking him up. And you have the gold to do it because you're only doing 7 units. So, and then you can just throw in an extra unit on the side there. This is my favorite one thus far, and thank you for sticking around this far into the video. So if you stayed long enough, you got a little secret. You got one of the best comps, I think, personally. So I hope to be doing more videos like this. Let me know what you think. Got the cam now in the video, and this video behind me, right around here, all up there and over there and up there, is actually of this Jungle Void here. So if you have been looking at that as well, I know there's a lot of stuff in the way on it, but I will have the full video up at some point later this week. So thank you for watching. More to come, and come check out the stream. We're streaming every day except on Fridays unless something comes up, and I will definitely have it on the stream title if something does come up. So thank you, and have a good weekend, guys.